Okay, I want to start off with Merry Christmas, and I hope everything goes well with you and your family. I'm Big D. Welcome to my show, The Boiling Point. We're still waiting on moving on with The Boiling Point show and calling it something different, but for right now, that's what it's going to be. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all. That way you'll get all the updates. Today we're going to talk about exactly what the description says. Maybe with a little bit of world news in there as well. We're going to start off going right into it. Now, Nesara began with Saint Germain. This is the event that has been in the works throughout all human history. Now, Saint Germain is one of the most key features in the New Age belief system, and it is said to be an ascended master, but his spirit is ancient. It goes far beyond what we know as the human of Saint Germain. A better description of him is the fallen angel known as Lucifer. It goes, now, who is also called Gadriel. The book of Enoch references Gadriel and calls him the angel who deceived Eve in the Garden of Eden. Now, this is going to be a little off track, but I need to say this because there needs to be a basis for the show. Now, it's been documented that in 1729, Saint Germain was working on the establishment and funding of a New World Monetary Trust. The Saint Germain World Trust now contains the majority of the wealth that will be distributed to the world once the new financial reset takes place. Today, Saint Germain's World Trust propriety program is known as Nesara Gesara. Nesara stands for National Economic Security and Reform Act. It applies only to the United States. While Gesara, the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, applies to the rest of the world. For centuries, elite families who follow the light or the agenda of the second beast, the beast of the land, has been contributing to this trust. Saint Germain specifically stated that the money in his world trust would be used in the future for prosperity and humanitarian purposes. Now, after 250 years of contributions by the rich and elite followers of light and compounding interest, Saint Germain's World Trust is over $1 quadrillion. That isn't a word with 45 zeros behind it. I can't comprehend $1 million. Can you imagine quadrillions? It's important to note that the United States was none other than Saint Germain's own Masonic experiment. The reason there's a program specifically for the United States and separate worldwide program is because the U.S. determines to a large extent and what happiness is in the rest of the world. This was Saint Germain's plan from the very beginning. The World Trust will be launched in the United States under the name Nesara and will be the first country to distribute the prosperity funds, draining the swamp, the false prophet system. Dr. Harvey Francis Barnard, a Louisiana graduate in system philosophy and an engineering consultant and teacher, created the Nesara purpose during the late 1980s and early 1990s. He printed 1,000 copies of his proposal, titled Drain the Swamp, Monetary Fiscal Policy Reform, 1996. And sent copies to all members of Congress, believing it would pass quickly on its merits alone. And yes, draining the swamp does sound familiar, doesn't it? If you're a Trump follower, you know exactly what I mean. Although the mainstream narrative states that the proposal died before ever gaining traction, the truth is actually quite different. It said that Nesara was secretly passed by the U.S. Congress on March 9, 2000. The military forced Bill Clinton to sign it into law under threat. They believe the military, the ones who are behind the entire worldwide Anon movement and are part of the second beast system. They actually forced Clinton, a dark cabal who is part of the first beast system, to sign Nesara into law. Now, Gesara is part of the Paris Agreement that was signed into law in 2015. Remember, Trump took the U.S. out of the Paris Agreement in 2019. The reason was simple. The U.S. is not part of Gesara. We have Nesara, the version that's specific to the United States. The move had nothing to do with the climate change. As a program, Nesara can be viewed from a couple of different perspectives. The New Age says Nesara is a spiritual directive financial program that can be attributed back to Saint Germain. It was designed to provide a new economic system for the world during the time of transition. The transition then mentioned it happened right now with Donald Trump, the White Hats, and Q eliminating the cabal or the deep state and draining the swamp. Now I'm going to, hopefully, if my equipment holds up, share something that I think everybody needs to hear. Here we go.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Let's start today information. In a significant development that has captured the attention of the global financial community, the International Monetary Fund has conveyed a message indicating that the Central Bank of Iraq is on the brink of adding value to its currency and adjusting the exchange rate. This announcement, coming at a crucial time, has sparked anticipation and discussions about the potential revitalization of Iraq's economy. The IMF's signal in the road ahead. The revelation from the IMF carries profound implications for Iraq, suggesting that the central bank is poised for a strategic move to enhance the value of the Iraqi dinar. This development is particularly timely as it aligns with the urgency for Iraq to implement economic reforms, potentially reflected in the upcoming payout of the 2023 budget before January 1st. The anticipated revaluation of the currency holds the key to unlocking new possibilities for economic growth and stability in the nation. Collaborative efforts: CBI, U.S. Treasury, IMF, and World Bank. The success of Iraq's monetary reforms stands as a testament to the collaborative efforts of various institutions, including the Central Bank of Iraq, the United States Treasury, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. These organizations have joined forces to promote economic stability, foster growth, and instill confidence in the Iraqi economy. The CBI's determination and hard work have played a crucial role in steering Iraq through the complexities of economic reform. The U.S. Treasury, IMF, and World Bank have supported these efforts by providing expertise, financial assistance, and strategic guidance. The coordinated approach has not only stabilized Iraq's economic landscape, but has also set the stage for a promising future, restoring confidence in building a brighter future. The collaborative efforts of these institutions have helped restore confidence in Iraq's economy, attracting domestic and international investors. The positive trajectory of economic reforms has created a foundation for sustained growth, laying the groundwork for a brighter future for the people of Iraq. The call to hold on to Iraqi Dinar, the message encouraging individuals to hold on to their Iraqi Dinar, signals a collective belief in the potential. Appreciation of the currency. This sentiment further reinforces the optimism surrounding Iraq's economic prospects. Investors and citizens alike are being urged to retain confidence in the Iraqi dinar as the nation undergoes transformative economic changes. PM Al-Sadani, advisor, positive assessment, the statement by Prime Minister Al-Sadan's advisor, highlighting the decline of the dollar, stabilization of prices, and optimistic expectations, adds weight to the positive outlook for Iraq. These indicators suggest a favorable economic environment and contribute to the growing optimism surrounding the imminent currency revaluation, as Iraq stands on the cusp of a potential economic renaissance. The collaborative efforts of the Central Bank of Iraq, the U.S. Treasury, the IMF, and the World Bank have laid the groundwork for a prosperous future. The IMF's signal regarding the impending currency revaluation is a pivotal moment that could mark a turning point in Iraq's economic trajectory. The nation's journey towards economic stability and growth serves as a testament to the resilience and determination of its people and the unwavering support of the international community. As we await further developments, the signs are promising and the global community watches with anticipation as Iraq prepares to embark on a new chapter of economic prosperity. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more updates.
Yeah, I thought that was informative, and that's something that had to be put out there as well. And thank you for stopping in, Propane, and also Linda, my friends from way back in the beginning of the show when YouTube wasn't as nice. I lost the show, they canceled it, and I am back. So hopefully this will be a better show. But Merry Christmas to everybody. I appreciate it for stopping in. Here we go. We're going to move forward. I have more things I like to share. Now, this is going to be more of a world news type information. Maybe you have heard it, but it's a good chance without mainstream media giving this information out. It's a possibility you haven't heard. The Washington Post has removed the war in Ukraine section from their website. I wonder why that is. Are they finished with it? Is the rumors of Putin saying he has won the war true? I guess we're going to have to wait to see how that works out. Angola announces their exit from OPEC. I think a lot of countries should move on from OPEC. Now, the GOP is drafting bills to remove Biden from the ballot in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. That's probably because those are the swing states that had some issues back in 2020. What do you think? Maine's highest court has ruled that Republican president candidate Chris Christie will not appear on the 2024 ballot after his campaign failed to gather enough certified signatures from registered voters. With all the new voters coming across the border, our southern border, I'm surprised he wasn't able to do that. The Supreme Court just rejected Jack Smith's request to bypass the appellate court on Trump's presidential immunity challenge to his January 6th indictment so that he could try him before the 2024 election. But President Trump wins in West Virginia as U.S. District Judge. Irene C. Berger has dismissed a lawsuit aiming to keep him off the ballot. This is just the beginning. There's many these many states are trying to do the same thing as Colorado. I don't think it's going to make it where this is going to stick. I think the Supreme Court's going to step in. But in my opinion, I think he has to be on every state ballot. But he wouldn't need it if it was, my opinion, again, if it was just a popular vote. But I guess that's how we're going to have to look into as well. Any questions so far? These live shows are, they come because a lot of people have contacted me and they want to help out the show, but they don't want to be a part of it. And that is fine. But if anybody in the future wants to be a part of the show and you want to be a guest on the show and you have something to talk about, if it follows the guidelines of YouTube, obviously, you'll see in the description where my email address is, and you can contact me there. If there's things that you would like to talk about and you don't want to put it in the comment section, you can do that as well in the email. Don't forget, hit the bell notification after you subscribe so you get all the updates for future shows. Trying to make it so Saturdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time will be a standard for the show, and that'll be the time and day of the week. Everybody all ready for Christmas? I hope you are. They never intended to keep him off the ballot. It was just to please the crazies. It can't be done legally. Yeah, I definitely agree, and I do believe it'll be a 9-0 vote in the Supreme Court to put Trump back on. Well, it won't take up too much of your time for today's show because I'm sure you have some Christmas holidays, things to take care of. Oh, Linda, thank you very much. I didn't realize that. I believe you're talking about the Colorado taking Trump off the voter roll or voter, so you can't vote for him. It's being paused already. I guess I didn't see that. That's good to know. Nice. Everybody all done with their Christmas shopping? If you're from my area, you would see that there's cars everywhere. You can't even drive down the street. It feels like we're in New York City trying to get through their city. Propane says write in, vote. They can't stop. Wow, it's going to be one of those. Hopefully, one of those things that goes Trump's way. And I believe it has to. It's unconstitutional from everything that I've researched. And I definitely want to go out there again and say thank you to all that helped the show. I get ideas of what we could talk about. And if it sounds like something I can get some information on, I do the research. And that's how today ended up, and also last week. And I do want to talk about the $2,000 an ounce for silver. I almost forgot about that. Now, there's a lot of people talking about professionals, Big Squares, Andy Scheckman. They're all talking about where silver will go. It just has to be, we just have to see it. One being supply versus demand. I went to a silver show just last week, and it's still readily available in my area. But that doesn't mean when the industry or the industrial side of demand for silver, where they're needing thousands of ounces for electric cars, electronics, solar panels, things like that, pretty much anything electronic, many different medical equipment is they use silver for. But $2,000, I believe, from what I understand through BixWares, $2,000 is very, very low. They believe silver will overtake gold. For one, nothing can replace what silver does, industrial-wise. The reflective ability of silver is unsurpassed. There's nothing out there that can do that, along with how it holds up against corrosion, conductivity, things like that. Copper does a pretty good job, so doesn't gold. But it doesn't do the same quality of a job, especially for longevity. Like in electronics, most solders that's used is a silver solder. And there are certain components in certain electronics. There's only silver that can actually do that job. Linda, I believe you are correct. All write-in votes will go to Biden. Propane says, I noticed an increase over spot when purchasing, especially throughout the summer. And now spot, when I was purchasing some silver last weekend, was only a very small amount of premium, which was shocking to me because I was seeing $6 to $10 on average. But most of the pawn shops in my area, they were charging $45 to, I would say, $60 an ounce. That was spot plus their premium that they were putting on top of the spot, which is, I'd never purchased. There was no way I was going to spend that kind of money. I just kept looking into different locations. One, like the show I did last weekend, that show that I went to is once a month. It's the third Sunday in every month in my area. You may have one as well, where that is my go-to. because they're not there to rip you off. And I was really shocked last weekend that it was only $2.50 over spot. I think Joe Biden, his days are numbered, at least what many people are talking. Can it be real? That would be amazing. With his removal, which my opinion should have happened a long time ago when they already found the proof of receiving money with all these shell corporations. Proof that he received money from oligarchs in Russia, deals and briberies going back, and where you can prove where they came from. There's been over 150 financial transactions that were sent to the FBI from the banks. Just like if you did something what they are doing, you would be turned in for the FBI to do an investigation. That alone should have been a warning sign to the FBI and not allow him to move forward with a presidency run. He's definitely not our president. I know that, and I believe every one of you know that. You can look back and see the features of his face, earlobes, mouth, eyes. There's many details in his face that show you, if you look back and say 1980s Senator Biden versus today's President Biden, so-called president, you would see the difference. Earlobes that attach, earlobes that do not attach to his face. The mouth is different. The teeth are completely different. The nose is definitely different. The eyes are different. The way he talks, like someone from New Hampshire. He talks the real Joe Biden, what we're talking about here. Talks of like a little like JFK. And I'm only mentioning him because that's the tone and how they put a sentence together versus the one now who we know can't put a sentence together, along with how he delivers that sentence. You don't lose that the older you get, in my opinion. So Linda says they will remove him at the last minute in order to install their choice. I believe that as well, if you're talking about the 2024 election. And she also states that there are 3 Bidens. I would believe that as well. I think someone stated that the very first one already passed away, but they had other ones ready to step right in. Yeah, some state that Big Mike might be put in his place to run for 2024, but I can't see how there will be a 2024 election if Nesara Gesara is real, because everybody in public office would have to be removed, and then a new, full, transparent election would have to be done. That's the rumors. I do appreciate the comments today. Trying to get the show back to where it was before YouTube canceled it. Now, going back to silver, I just wanted to state that $2,000 is a very small amount compared to what some are saying that it could go to. Some are saying that gold is another one that is going to, or any precious metals, is going to increase in probably a very short time. But if you look at what gold and silver removed from the ground ratio is, it's reported that it's 7-to-1, 7 ounces of gold to 1 ounce of silver. With that in play, silver should definitely be probably close to $2,000. As of today, the silver to gold ratio is 84.65-to-1. That's huge. Gold is over $2,064. Silver is over $24 an ounce. You can see that that is a huge difference compared to what it actually should be versus how it's been mined, 7-to-1 ratio. Not including the price when it comes to price, supply versus demand. Right now, the amount of silver that is mined per year is probably 500 million ounces less than what we need. And this has been happening year after year. And the more the demand for electric cars and solar panel fields for many, many years has increased. In just my area alone, and I live in a small, I would consider it small area compared to, say, Rochester or Buffalo. We have solar panel fields in probably 5 to 10 areas that I can think of off the top of my head. That alone, I mean, what's happening in some of the larger areas? But if you've ever looked into solar panels for your own home, look at the cost, look at the upkeep, look at the area that you probably, it's a good possibility if you live in, say, an area like where I live, and we get a lot of snow. That snow covering those panels, what are you going to do? You got to go up there and brush them off. It's part of maintenance. But they don't do their job. They're not efficient enough. That's why you need so many panels just to power your home. And the amount of power that needs to power your home has to be supplied with batteries. These batteries are not cheap. So if there's an upkeep of every 5 to 10 years of replacing those batteries, you got to understand that's going to be a large amount of money, I would have to say. Because when you're powering a car, that battery is $20,000 plus. How much would it be to power your home? A battery would have to be replaced. That's just nonsense. But the efficiency is not there. The battery, solar power with a battery backup it's not the way to go, in my opinion. And you put it on your roof. If it's on your roof and you have a leak because they hammer screws or nails or whatever they got to do to install those, it's a possibility of a leak area. I didn't want that myself. And if you needed a roof or needed a repair, that has to all come off. So it was never an option for me. I want to say thank you for everybody to stop in on a Christmas weekend. I appreciate everybody. Um, Try to have a safe holiday, especially with how busy it is right now. I went into Walmart this morning, and a young couple walking in almost hit by a car in the parking lot area. They had some words. The girls in that vehicle pulled over to the side of the road, side of the drive area of the parking lot. They got out and they assaulted the mother of that baby and the wife of the one who he probably shouldn't have done what he did. And I explained to him if he should never hit a woman. But he took one of them after the one girl hit his wife and swung her around, threw her on the ground, and jumped on top of her. That girl's sister that got out of the car with her came over and beat the guy up pretty bad. I was able to stop the fight, but he couldn't understand what he did wrong. The cops were called, and it's not. You need to be aware because your actions are going to affect you. Now, will he be arrested or given just an appearance to be in court? I don't know. I'd hate to see a family going to jail on the weekend of Christmas. So I just want to say, beware of your actions and try to be safe while doing it. God bless, and have a great, safe holiday. Merry Christmas to you, Propane. I know we will be talking on email, I'm sure. Hope your family is well. I hope you're doing well. I know what we discussed, and I hope you're doing well. Cindy, very nice to see you here. Yes, Cindy, this happened this morning. And Linda, happy holidays. Hope you have a great holiday with your family. Same to you, Cindy. Have a great rest of your day. See you next Saturday.